Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us after coffee. It's very appreciated. So I think we all know this one. It's the famous triangle of the developers, product, and designers. Sometimes UX is with design, sometimes it's with product. It doesn't really matter. What really matters is that we all want the same thing: to create wonderful applications for our customers to use. Now, that's very ideal, but actually, sometimes it looks more like this, where each one of the teams pulls the rope to their sides, trying to think about their needs, their priorities, their milestones. Designers want UI to look great and behave friendly. Product wants more features and more content. Developers want everything easy and clean code. We're simple. Then, when you add management pressure to this story, it becomes a whole lot scarier, because management wants everything done the sooner the better, if possible by yesterday. So how can we solve this predicament? How can we all work together and not against each other? In this talk today, I want to show you one of the ways to help us communicate better and improve these dynamics. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Hadas Shveky-Teman, and actually today is my birthday, so thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I've been a developer, a web developer for the past 13 years or so. I started my career in the back-end world, and I actually did full stack before it was a thing. I did JavaScript code maybe twice a week, nothing too serious, and then I got this amazing opportunity to switch to the front-end world, and I was so happy about it. I was so excited, and I truly found my true destiny. And I'm still doing it and loving it today. So today, I'm working at Kaltura. And at Kaltura, we do video. Our vision is everything video: communications, teaching, employee onboarding, everything. And luckily, in the past couple of years, a minor world pandemic helped this vision to come true. And now we're helping our customers create their professional events, all virtual, online, on top of our platform. And not to be too modest, but it is a huge success. And currently, it takes around 80 people to create such an event. And our goal now, what we're working on, is having this ability automatically with a few clicks on a button, creating this event automatically. So approaching this project, and even before this project, the developers in Kaltura tried to think of a way to create a UI infrastructure. It has been attempted before to create a reusable, well-defined, slick, and modern UI. The idea was to create it for one project, and if it will be good enough, it will be used by a few products throughout the company. And I lost my thought there for a second. But actually, what I wanted to say is that these attempts didn't go as well as expected, and working on them came to a halt. And it's not because developers weren't professional enough. And it's not because designs weren't accurate enough. And it's not because product didn't define the requirements well enough. It's mainly because not enough resources were put into this from all sides of the triangle. So let us explore some of the options that we have in trying to tackle a project like this. First option that we have is just to go freestyle, which means writing the components in React with some CSS, some JavaScript, nothing too serious, code as we go, and just brute forcing it. I think we all understand why this idea is not very good, because it's not reusable, it's prone to bugs, and it's probably a nightmare to maintain. So let's skip ahead to the second option. Why not use a ready-made library? There's lots of libraries out there. There's React Bootstrap, AntDesign, Chakra UI, MUI. We can use the ready-made components in this library, create our application with these components and override their theme with ours if we want. That sounds like a plan. All it needs is some investigation to see which library will benefit us most. And if we choose it wisely, if we go with a well-known library, it will give us enough documentation and support, and most of the behaviors will already be implemented in the components. But what happens if one day the designers come and present to us a component which has behaviors that are not implemented in this library that we chose? That's a problem. We can't use the library out of the box. We'll have to wrap it anyhow to give it the extra behaviors that we need, because product and design won't be happy about losing functionality. So if we're already wrapping it with our own components, let's just go to the next option, which is to create a local UI kit. It means having a section inside your repo that holds all the UI components, wrapping the library that you choose and giving it the extra style and behavior that you need. Now, in this option, you can do application-specific components such as form input and search input, menu button and submit button, and consume them inside your project and reuse it when needed. And that's pure component-driven design. That's a really good option if you want to give a firm basis for UI for your application. But what happens if suddenly, after your library is already mature and stable and used in your project, product comes with this amazing idea that you want that other products in the company will use your library to have the same style and they have the same look and feel? They think it's going to be easy to take the code and apply it to all the products in the company, right? You already wrote it once. How hard can it be? You go to your team, you sit and think about it, and you think about how to make your library, your internally used library, an infrastructure for the entire company to use. And you go back, you give an enormous effort estimation, which creates a havoc all around because product already sold this idea to management, and marketing already sold this idea to the customer, and all needed by the end of next quarter. What a mess. Someone thinks about the great idea of option number 4, creating an external theme using design tokens and using this theme to apply it to all the products in the company. Now, I'm not going to talk about design tokens right now, but I'm just going to say that design tokens are certain elements of the theme, such as colors and spacing and sizes and typography, that are represented as data with values and centralized in one place in order to consume them and reuse them throughout the theme to ensure unity across the design. And there are some libraries who support this option of receiving an external theme using a theme provider. And if you're using one of those, that option is very doable and it's not very hard to implement. But this idea is only good for styling and it's not good for behavior. In this way, every team will have to take the external theme and implement the behavior, the additional behavior on their own for each project. And that's just a waste of resources. And nobody will be happy about wasting this time. So let's go and check the final option that we came up with. Go international. That's how we call it. Which means using an external library that will be used by multiple projects across the company. It can be based on an existing UI library, no problem about that. But what it has to be is fully flexible, fully customizable to allow the developers using it to adjust it to their needs. Now, there's other benefits on top of reusability across projects. It also reduces development time and QA time, and this results in shortening the time to market, which is in a company that keeps growing, these benefits are very crucial. This option can only come with the commitment of designers for a thorough design system to show all the different components in the system and their design and their different behaviors. It should also come with understanding from product that this is the project that R&D are working on right now, and it's not secondary in priorities for other projects and other features. And it also should come with management support to invest resources in such a project, and ideally have a dedicated team to work on this. So out of these 5 options that I presented to you, there's no right answer here. All options are legit. Each has its advantages and costs, and every project should choose the right solution according to the needs and resources available. So as you probably understand, at Kaltura, we went with this one because it was the right solution for us at the right time, just when the company started growing and shifted to be more platform-like. So let me tell you how cool and interesting this project was. So what we did is we used MUI 5 as our base library, and we tried to follow MUI conventions as much as possible. Why MUI? It's very popular, around 70K stars on GitHub, which means it has a lot of support, a lot of documentation, and great community. We separated our library into 3 parts: components, icons, and theme, with the idea of separating responsibilities and consuming each one separately if needed, not depending on each other. Our library is NPM installed, and it's automatically deployed on NPM using semantic release. So each commit that we make with a certain commit message creates a new version on NPM without our involvement, and we can instantly consume it. It's very great. And also, of course, we have continuous integration and unit testing before each deployment. Now, this is an important one. Only when a second team in Kaltura took our library and tried to use it in their project, it became really alive because we got feedback on how we implemented the library and what we did right and what we did wrong, and where it was flexible enough and also where it wasn't. And in the end, we changed huge chunks of the code because of that, and it became a joint effort of both teams to make it much better. And this process made us think about version management and project ownership. Who develops the code, who maintains it, who reviews the PR, and who approves them, and also about contribution instructions for further development in the future in case our teams don't have the capacity to do that. And last but not least, we worked a lot with our designers on the design system and storybook to create the components according to the designs, and it was a great joint effort. So I want to quickly show you our environment of development and see what we did. So this is our storybook. Here you can see one of our components. It's the button component. On the left side, you can see the different customizations and options that this button supports. And on the right side, you see how it actually renders on the screen. So you see you can have a label option and an icon option as well. And once you click on the left side, you can see the different variations that it supports. So for example, it has a borderless look and a background look. It can come with different colors to define different states of the system. And also, it supports different sizes. And here you can see our design system. This is our actual design system. It's just a really small part of it because it's very extensive. But you see that the definition of the button component that I just showed you in each of its states. And it's very useful. It's created in Figma. So I can click on each one of the items and see the exact CSS, styling, colors, spacing, sizes, everything. So that's very convenient. And I just want to tell you on a personal note that after we finished the first phase of the library and we took the different UI components and tried to build our application UI, it was such great fun, and it was the best part, just taking the different pieces of UI and putting them all together and seeing them combining perfectly. It was just like Lego. Development was fast and easy, product was happy with the progress, and designs were perfect. So in the end, thanks for better communication, aligning expectations, and strong collaboration, we were able to take this triangle and turn it a bit more like this. And also ended up with a singular look and feel throughout the application, which was the goal the entire time. Thank you very much. These are my details. Feel free to contact me. And I want to say a last sentence that you haven't heard today from any company, not so ever. Kaltura is hiring. So come and join our awesome team. Thank you very much.